Smoking looks like a simple choice, a small stick of tobacco, a flame, a breath in, a breath out. From the outside, it seems easy to say, just stop. But for the person holding that cigarette, the story is never that simple. The reason people can't quit smoking is not a lack of willpower. It is a complex mix of chemistry, memory, emotion, identity, and silent battles that most of the world never sees. Smoking often begins as a moment, curiosity with friends, an attempt to look mature, a way to belong, a response to stress, or even an act of rebellion. No one lights their first cigarette thinking it will become a lifelong dependency. It starts as something small, almost harmless, something they believe they control. But slowly, without announcing its arrival, the habit starts controlling them. Nicotine doesn't just live in the body, it rewires the brain. It teaches the mind to associate relief with smoke. Stress? Smoke. Celebration? Smoke. Loneliness? Smoke. Boredom? Smoke. Over time, the cigarette stops being a choice and becomes a response, an automatic solution to every emotional situation. It becomes a ritual that fills the empty spaces in a person's day. Morning tea feels incomplete without it. Long conversations feel unfinished without the pause for a cigarette. Even pain feels more manageable when wrapped in a cloud of smoke. But the real reason many people can't quit is deeper than addiction. It's emotional attachment. For some, smoking is the only break they give themselves in the busy and demanding life. It's the 5 minutes of silence in a world that never stops talking. It's the only time they stand still and breathe, even if that breath is slowly hurting them. Taking away the cigarette means taking away their coping mechanism, their pause button, their companion in stressful moments. For others, cigarettes hold memories. They remind them of old friends, late-night talks, college days, love that once existed, or the person they used to be. Quitting smoking, in a strange way, feels like letting go of those memories. The habit becomes tied to identity. This is who I am. This is how people know me. And changing that feels like losing a part of themselves. There is also the quiet war between guilt and comfort. Smokers know the damage. They see the warnings, hear the advice, feel the shortness of breath, notice the stares. They promise themselves this is the last one. But when stress hits, when emotions rise, when life becomes too heavy, the cigarette is the fastest comfort they know. It doesn't judge, it doesn't ask questions, it simply burns and gives them a moment of peace. Another reason people struggle to quit is fear. Not fear of illness, but fear of facing life without their shield. Because when the smoke disappears, everything else becomes louder. Their anxiety, their overthinking, their loneliness, their unresolved pain. Smoking is not always about the nicotine. Sometimes it's about escaping the weight of one's own mind. And then there's the cycle of failure and shame. Many smokers try to quit multiple times. Each failed attempt makes them feel weaker. They start believing the lie that they are not strong enough, that change is not meant for them. This belief becomes more addictive than nicotine itself. What most people don't understand is this. Smokers don't continue because they don't care. They continue because quitting means rebuilding their emotional world from the ground up. To quit smoking is not just to stop lighting cigarettes. It is to learn new ways to handle stress, new ways to reward yourself, new ways to pause, new ways to exist. It is to sit with uncomfortable feelings without running away. It is to face yourself without the filter of smoke. And that is one of the hardest things any human being can do. So the next time you see someone struggling to quit, don't see weakness. See a person fighting a battle between who they are, who they were, and who they want to become. Because every smoker has a moment, sometimes late at night, sometimes after a deep cough, sometimes while watching someone they love, where they whisper to themselves, "I want to stop." And that whisper is not small. It is the beginning of change. Quitting smoking is not about throwing away a cigarette. It is about healing the parts of a person that needed that cigarette in the first place. And once those parts are understood, supported, and replaced with something healthier, not just physically, but emotionally, the chains begin to break. Not instantly, not easily, but meaningfully. Because in the end, people don't fail to quit smoking. They are simply trying to let go of something that for a very long time felt like the only thing that never let go of them.